Welcome back. Oh my God, that was such a croaky welcome back.
If you can't tell already, we actually did that intro a few times.
As if it's very...
I don't know if you... But yeah, no, Nicoletta's been sick the last week and a half, and she's been dying. So this will be a short one. I know you guys must be teared. What are you gonna do with your lives?
No, but I know what they're waiting for, and we're not delivering what they want.
Yeah, we all know you want the femininity episode. Don't worry, that will be coming next week when Nicoletta's feeling better, so we can actually do it back and forth. But God knows, maybe that I have to wait a week since she's giving me her weird ass sickness now. So who knows how long I'll be out for. But I know the funniest thing is she's about to go on a holiday and enjoy herself once she's better, because this is filmed a good few days before she goes. So by the time obviously she's already on antibiotics and everything should be better. But whereas for me,
yours is just starting. Mine
is just starting. So I'll probably get really bad by the time she's gone, and I'll be suffering while she's enjoying. But it's struggles of a man.
Life, it is what it is.
You gotta hold down your woman while she goes and enjoy herself. So
yeah, my voice has been pretty bad. It's been pretty much gone. And if you're part of the Instagram family, you would know, because they know everything. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's been gone, and all I've been getting these past few days is, oh, what's up, bro?
What's up,
bro? How you doing, bro?
What up, bro?
What up, bro?
How you doing, bro?
That's all I've been getting, so...
She sounds like a bro.
Please be
bro,
nice.
Bro.
Today's episode, like Farouk said, is probably going to be really short, or not.
Just didn't want to leave you guys hanging, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
And we do have some Reddit stories for you guys prepared, and we're going to get to reading them.
It's been a hot minute, innit? Yeah. You've only seen these Reddit stories done from, what's it called? Clips. You don't see us talking about them anymore, because we have so much content to choose from now.
Exactly. I just found out my husband is $70,000 in debt. Farouk's like, wait, I know this story.
I know this story indeed.
My husband and I are looking into buying a house, and this cute house is about to hit the market, and we both really like it. My husband got a side-by-side on an ATV. I'm confused. What's a side-by-side?
I think it's the big truck, or the 4x4,
Oh.
So I think it's I'm not too sure. No, the Americans can probably explain. I think it is their make, because American way, by a 4x4, whatever.
So that's why she said side-by-side or an ATV.
Yeah, something like
maybe
that.
She wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so my husband got a side-by-side or an ATV in 2022, and we used my credit, but he makes the payments. $18,000 on my credit because of him. So I was talking to him, seeing if he could just get approved for the loan, since I don't think I can. We've been married for almost a year. We didn't want to merge finances, which I know was a mistake. So I checked his credit, and it said 17,580, almost 18,000. I found this out last Friday at work. I told him to meet me for lunch and that I was upset. I've been crying because I'm thinking he has a gambling issue or something, because he hasn't bought anything. We aren't getting packages like that at the house, so it has to be something like that. It's worse. His debt is it's worse. He is in debt 17,000 because of Onlyfans, and has spent probably 100,000 in the 5 years we have been together. That is all.
That story is brazy, bro. That shit's brazy. So there's a lot of issues there. But funny enough, let me say one thing. And I know this is going to be pretty controversial. I don't think him spending that much money on OnlyFans is a problem. I think the problem here is that he spent that much money without letting her know throughout the entire period they've been together. If she was cool with him, looking at OnlyFans girls or girl, whatever, then obviously they could continue a relationship, and that's, as she knows that, she's aware of that. But the fact he never made that apparent to her, so she obviously never had the choice to leave if that's something she was not okay with. And obviously, the thing is, he's using his own money. That's why I think it's fine, because he's using his own money. But the problem is, when you're in a relationship with someone, especially when you're using their card to buy an ATV, a 4x4, whatever you want to call it, and you're using, but on the sly, you're using your own money for some OnlyFans girl, you're not telling this person. That's what's fucked up. Because, you know, like a lot of people would be like, yo, that's even fucked up to be spending that much money. Bro, let people do whatever the fuck they want with their money. That's why people make money, so they can spend it however they want.
Yeah.
The problem here lies in the fact that for 5 years, he's spent 100K. Can you imagine? That's like 25K a year.
100,000.
Man, I would love to be the OnlyFans girl that he was paying money to, because that is a lot of fucking money.
I mean, it might have been across multiple women.
Yeah, I think in the story, though, it said that something about like, it was one girl that he was paying for, like that she said something along the lines, I think I was reading the comments or whatever, that she was saying that he couldn't stop himself. Essentially, like he had to, it was like an addiction. He had to keep giving this girl money because he was addicted to like her content or whatever.
That's kind of really confusing to me, because somehow, some way, some of you may know, I've worked in a casino, so I can kind of understand the gambling addiction. It's, you have this perception, like, you know, that you're going to win, but you're actually not. You're going to keep losing money. You're going to keep going back, whatever. I don't really understand the addiction to paying for OnlyFans.
I can explain that, I think.
Go on.
Dopamine. Think about it. Every time, if you, like, when you purchase a video game, you pay for it, you play it, you get dopamine. Like, you know, flashy lights, everything, whatever. I'm pretty sure it's just the exact same thing, where it's like, you, like, because remember, like, when it comes to OnlyFans, it's not just about the subscription. It's like, and getting the content. You can also pay for extra. I think because the subscription is not costing me 100K in 5 fucking years, right? What's happening is that, oh, sorry, I just realized I said 25K, I meant 20K a year. All right, but the subscription, it's not that he's probably paying for the extras. You can there are message requests on OnlyFans where you like message and you pay for it or whatever, and then you can get exclusive content toward for you. So I think he's like going like, I send money here, she sends me nude, bing, dopamine hit. And he's just like got addicted to that process of like, boom, boom, boom. I give money, I get nude. You know, like, it's wild.
No, I get it, but I think it's just not as, maybe it's just not as common, like, to hear that someone has like, and I have an addiction to buying video games. Maybe I have an addiction to playing video games, right? But it's like, you know, you're not spending all your money's worth. And I'm not saying it's not, like, possible.
Well,
it's definitely
people
possible.
who have addictions to playing video games spend a lot of money. Like,
yeah.
There was a great, like, thing of before, back in the day, there was, like, some guy, you know, actually, what am I even saying, some guy? Right now, in Korea and in Japan, there are camps for kids who are addicted to playing video games. But not just playing video games. Like, especially MMORPGs with microtransactions, they're very addicted. So they've gone into serious hundreds of thousands of debt buying stuff, you know? Like,
you said these are kids?
Kids, adults, like different age ranges is like, and like, you know, they buy things with this and they go into debt because they're getting all these skins, getting all these DLCs, getting all these that's why microtransactions make so much money, because there are people who are genuinely addicted to, even in the West, people are addicted to opening FIFA packs. I have seen people put stupid money opening FIFA packs because it's just all, and it's essentially like gambling, except you know what you're gonna get.
I wanted to say that as well, because I remember the story of the Candy Crush kid who spent all his parents' money on Candy Crush and stuff, and even adults who spend money on Candy Crush. And I do kind of see, now that you put it that way, in that perspective, I do see this as a new form of this current generation's gambling. Maybe they're not going to go into the casino and play the slot machines, but
they're going to find a random OnlyFans girl online and start giving her money to get that dopamine hit.
Ding.
But also for some people, I think it's like, I was thinking about it as well. It could be like a power thing as well. Like, it's kind of like, oh, by me giving the money, then she kind of does what I say. So it's kind of like a power thing. And it's like, by them doing that, she does this, you know? And they see kind of like in that kind of like symbiotic relationship where it's like my money allows me to do things, allows me to make people do what I want, kind of thing. And it's kind of fucking insane. Like, and like when I read that story, I was just like, Nicola, you're not gonna believe this. Like, the thing is, like, and then there's the other thing of like, would you have a problem? Like, this is actually an interesting topic. Would you have a problem with your partner? Obviously me, because there's no other man here. If I was interested in OnlyFans girl and I paid for it.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah? I
think I would, because in a way I'm like, you could spend that like €4 or €5 or whatever and like go on
$5 a month.
Oh my God. It's a monthly subscription.
It's less than a month. It's less than Netflix.
No, listen, you can spend that little money and like save it for us to do something.
For €5?
Save it every month, you know?
€5 though?
Yes. Oh my God. Or you could take me out for a coffee date. Okay. You could take me out for that much. I think I would be really upset because I'm like, you have a physical human being next to you who wants to do things with you, and I would rather you spend the money on that. And not only this, but like, I don't know if I say this, but like, you could find a lot of the OnlyFans stuff like on a lot of Discord pages,
Okay, yes,
Reddit
but
pages.
okay, let's say we're not doing illegal activities and taking people's content for free.
I'm not saying I'm not condoning it. I'm not condoning it.
But like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, obviously it depends on each person. It's kind of like how some people aren't comfortable with a partner watching, adult content online and so on and so forth. And like, that's fair. But I feel like if you are okay with your partner watching adult content, I don't understand why you'd have a problem with OnlyFans. It's because it's the same as paying for adult content.
But why are you paying for adult content? Adult content is very much free online.
Like,
if you want to avail of such free subscription online, you can do that for free.
Absolutely. But sometimes people would just want specific specificities.
Why like, that's something that I don't know that I understand, and I don't know that you would understand because you're not someone who pays for it, hopefully, right? But like, what like, other than like maybe the power trip, what is the kind of need or want to pay for it?
Well, I think it depends on different people. Like, I think, for example, take that one that's really big. I'm trying to remember her name. That was friends with David Dobrik, Karina. Yeah, Karina Kumpf. Her OnlyFans is massive. Like, so many people. She makes millions a year off it, right? And that goes from the fact that for so many years, people, and this comes like from an interesting topic, it's like, for so many years, people looked at this girl and found her very attractive, right? But they never, like, only the people who slept with her knew what she looked like or her naked body looked like. And the moment she said she was doing OnlyFans, it blew up because so many guys in their head have sexualized this woman for so long, and then it's like, I want to see.
Yeah.
And then eventually you just stay there and whatever. And you know that the only way you can see this person that you think is attractive, is naked body, is through OnlyFans. And I think that's where it's kind of like, you find this person attractive, you pay for the OnlyFans. And that's why I kind of say, like, if you are fine with your partner kind of like watching adult content online, I don't understand why OnlyFans would be an issue, because it's not a situation of them compare, like, and I mean in the sense of, like, it's not like they're spending, like, not in this scenario where they're spending the money. No, that's what I'm saying. It's not a scenario where they're like spending the money and they don't have money to spend on you. They have money to spend on you. This is money they have on the side that's extra. They're like, it's just so I can get better content of stuff that I would enjoy. And it's not, and the thing is, that content is not related to you, because they can enjoy this and still enjoy you.
No,
it's kind of like the taco marshmallow thing.
No, I think, like, the difference is, if they do watch adult content online, the difference is that this is simply paid. And I think in this day and age, we shouldn't have money to be spending like that once you're trying to, like, have like a family with someone or build a future with someone, and you're here being like, it's only like €5. No. What are you doing?
But people pay for adult content subscriptions for, like, big major websites.
And I don't think they should pay for that either. It's because it's available for free. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
how if they don't want ads?
Oh my God.
It's the same way people pay for YouTube Red. How about if they don't want ads? How about that situation?
There's only an ad at the start. Okay, I don't know that, but I've heard.
No, but I'm saying, like, taking the scenario where you don't want ads or things or annoyance or whatever. Do you think that's okay? Paying for that to, like, remove the barriers?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
So your idea is, like, because it's free online, you shouldn't pay for it.
Yeah.
But you could use that ideology for so many things. On, like, there are free movies on the online. Why are you paying for Netflix?
But that's not true, because the Hub specifically is a website that they themselves have, like, built and allow and pay their creators. And I agree with you. Right? But I can watch YouTube for free.
For example, instead of paying for Netflix, you could just watch YouTube. Why are you paying for Netflix? Yeah,
because I want a different, like, genre or whatever. But there's every single genre available for free of adult content.
But the thing is, you pay for Netflix because you want premium or different quality movies. But why? They are paying for subscriptions because they want either premium or different quality.
No, I'm sorry.
Videos.
No.
I feel like it falls underneath the same umbrella, no?
What do you need? Like, what do you need? Like a production, a movie production? No.
Maybe some people want that.
No, I'm just not cool with it. Like, and especially, like, I think if you're in a relationship and you want to do it, you need to tell your partner. Because, like, your money is now going on things. And I think it's because I feel like I think finances are important things to discuss as like a couple, and this is one of those things that like could get really rocky.
No, I absolutely agree with the relationship aspect. I think it's something you should definitely run by your partner. I think it's not something that you should just do willy-nilly on yourself, unless like you and your partner have already agreed that like whatever you guys spend, you just do whatever, don't give a shit, right? But I'm talking about like just in general, like kind of thing. And then, but so would you say that if you're single, then all power to you, doesn't matter if you pay for it?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like you're working on yourself by yourself, right?
Yeah, but I guess that's one of those things that are like, you think it's bad to pay for it in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
But why is it fine for you to pay for it if you're single then, realistically?
To be honest, I don't think anyone should be consuming adult content anyway. I think we've seen a lot of like the negative impacts of it on, you know, the psychological health and then your perception of like other human beings around you and like things like that. So I don't think anyone should be, right? But especially if you're in a relationship and if the person next to you is like that you're with, you're not valuing them and you're spending your money on someone else online, like other females, it's kind of
it's absolutely
up, right?
But then, okay,
I know you're playing the devil's advocate, but I'm about to slap you.
And then this is where I was trying to go with that. You think no one should pay for it? Some of your favorite TikTokers,
yeah, I know Anna Paul
make majority of their money because of OnlyFans, and that's kind of like how they kind of got famous, got whatever, right?
Yeah.
People like that, like for example, sex workers, right? Sex workers, people who are like perfectly fine with putting their body out there, and they're like, I want to monetize this, right? And if there's no like demand for it, like there are no people there to do it, then the people who have the supply will never make money from it, right? So you're like, no one should have it. But then how about people in that position? Are you saying that go get a real job?
No, I don't think so. I think like there will always be a demand for it, right? Yeah. I think excessive consumption of adult content is definitely bad, right? If I choose now to support Anna Paul on that platform, I don't like I would do it just because I want to support her, not because I really like care about the content. And that could be a way to like, you know, support your favorite creators.
You just have like a Patreon.
And then a lot of you could, right? Yeah. And then a lot of times like a lot of, you know, the things that they post, from what I've heard, are like bikini pics. Like you have the same Instagram pictures from there.
Definitely not Anna Paul. Anyway.
I mean, I've seen some of the things. They're not that exclusive. But like, you know, it's just like you have Instagram, like it's good, like it just
I fully agree.
But no, I do think they should get paid, and I think like, you know, platforms like The Hub or whatever, they pay their creators, you know, and
kind of like the way YouTube does the whole ad
pay per view
CPM,
or whatever,
like per 1,000 views.
That's like YouTube pays their creators, and it's still watching you for free and stuff. So there's outlets there where they could get paid, and like you said, like, you know, there's Patreon as well, and that's for some reason doesn't have a bad stigma, but OnlyFans does, even though it's like kind of the same thing, you know.
Yeah,
it's just one's related to this, one's related to that.
They've capitalized. Well, not that they capitalized. I think people have kind of like put OnlyFans with adult content, even though it's actually not even meant for just adult content. It's meant for literally anyone who wants to have paid subscription content. And so it's kind of like that scenario there. But that's why I was trying to get back to the whole point of like, if you believe that no one should do it, then obviously then there's a massive market of people who are going to go jobless, like in this dream world. And like, it's a situation.
What happened before OnlyFans? Like, how are people making money?
Obviously, they have to have other jobs to do whatever.
Right.
But this is like a means at which I like. It's kind of the things, as technology advances, we find other means to make money. People have found means to make money off YouTube as being creators, and some people have become sex creators as they profit off sex. It's completely
valid, you know? But I feel like you asking that question is the equivalent of being like, what should the people that have been laid off do? What, they're meant to find a job? Yeah, find a job. Like, you're stuck out of work, you gotta go find something.
I guess it's the idea. It's like, it comes more to the root of like people not valuing sex work as real work, because they're like, it's a nice, quick, easy,
I think, no.
like quick, easy, like quote unquote get out of jail free card, or like, you know,
no, I don't think
realistically
it's easy.
There's actually like, realistically it's actually a lot harder than that. Like there's a whole lot of marketing, there's a whole lot of everything that has to go behind it. Like, yes, you can just get lucky and you can just bang and be lucky, but
yeah, for sure,
there's a lot of like marketing that goes behind it.
And with it, like, comes a lot. Like, I'm looking at creators like Anna Paul, right, who makes so much money from there. But then look at her TikTok. She has such a huge influence. She's making so much money from her own other things now, like selling merch and having
Anna Paul has merch. What the fuck is she
has her
selling?
own clothing brand, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to see how that is.
Why does she know this?
Why does... what does that even look like? Is it even cool?
I don't know, but I know she's making crazy money. It's always sold out,
Yeah.
right? Whatever. And like, there's so much more opportunities for her than to take if she doesn't want to do OnlyFans anymore, you know? So I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, I think they should definitely be paid, and it should be like kind of some sort of regulated. Like, I know, you know, the Hub did a whole, like, people who weren't verified.
Yeah. If you weren't
post.
verified, you can't post. They did like prune that
Things like
whole
that.
system and everything like that.
So I think that's good. It's good for them.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of creates a good outlet for them. So yeah, definitely, if you're gonna pay for it, let your partner know, please.
I can agree with that point.
One more thing I want to say, because I thought it was kind of funny, and I never thought I'd tell the story. But like, do you remember talking about microtransactions and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So there was this game that I used to play growing up, and it's called Small Worlds.
Yeah, I know this story.
And I was so addicted to that game. And you were able to buy things in the game, the currency in the game called gold, how original, and you're able to purchase it with the credit on your phone, right? So I wasn't allowed, like, I didn't have a credit card or anything. I wasn't allowed to, you know, use my card online, but I was allowed to top up my phone. So the amount of phone top-ups I've done, like, Vodafone owes me credit for free for the rest of my life, just to have like gold in the game. And then like I'd have this huge like villa, and I'd be so cool. I was so cool, and then the game shut down.
Yeah, and you lose all your money.
And that was really sad. But that was my point, that like, yeah, microtransactions are real.
Definitely a very predatory and very toxic part of gaming society. Like, once again, I think the way Fortnite has done it is genius. But obviously it preys on people's like need to fit in, especially like right when Fortnite first came in, right, and we were all enjoying it, whatever. It was one of those things. But now it's such a cultural phenomenon, and as an adult, I can just be like, I bought an Itachi skin for Fortnite, you know, because I'm like, I like Itachi. I play Fortnite sometimes. Let me get this skin, and I'm an adult with money. I'm an adult with expendable with a full-time job, expendable income. I'm like, this skin is like €5. Like, that's nothing to me. That I spend that getting a chicken roll nowadays. Inflation is real, and so it's kind of those things. But the problem lies now with kids who don't have expendable income and don't have the sense of rationality that I do, and also they have the real big need to fit in. Lots of kids end up nowadays, and I saw this whole article about it, of like kids who feel like they have to buy the latest skin in Fortnite or have all these things to be really cool in their friends groups, you know, because everyone else has it, everyone else has all these things, and it's like really cool. And if you don't, you're kind of like you're like loser with that doesn't like. It's kind of like back in the day, you know, you had to have the like cool shoes or cool tops.
I was about to say,
you have to have the cool Fortnite skin, you know,
which is crazy, right? Because at least, you know, back in the day when you're comparing outfits and stuff, at least it was something physical that you got to use, not something that you can only do once you're home after school. You know, like virtually. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of like one of those things where it's just kind of insane to think. And it's one of those things like, how do you, like, obviously Fortnite has a lot of good parental controls and stuff like that to regulate all these things. But like, I think microtransactions inherently are just predatory. They like, the idea is to make the company as much money as possible in a game for as long as possible, right?
They know what they're doing, like, because they can so easily play the card of, oh, but you don't have to buy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Making you buy it.
You know, like, and lots of things have happened. Like before, like, you used to have loot boxes. Like, they've pretty much removed loot boxes out of all games now, because essentially so many countries, first initially they had the rule that the loot box has to tell you what your percentage chance to get different rarities are, and then like what's in it. They came cracking down, because essentially loot boxes was a literal slot machine, but in video games. That is what it was. You were paying like €2, €5, €10 for a loot box, rolling the slot machine, hoping you got this gold shiny skin that does nothing for you. Yeah. And then you don't get it. You get a bunch of junk. It converts to in-game currency, and then you roll again, and you keep doing that with money. And it was insane. Loot boxes for so long destroyed the gaming community. Everyone hated it. Call of Duty did it. Overwatch did it. Everywhere did it. And everyone fucking hated loot boxes. Everyone hates loot boxes with a passion because that was some bad memories with it. Because it was literally a slot machine and you always lost. It was a gambling, except there was no winning because you got a shiny skin, but you got no money for that unless it was certain games, which had a big market value where you could resell these things, right?
Yeah.
Most people, you just lost money. You're just feeding money into the system. And eventually most countries just outline loot boxes completely, and now it's a situation where you just have skins that you straight up buy. Like, it's there if you want it. It's like on rotation. That's how they make it exclusive. Like, you can't get it anytime you want. It's only if it's available in the store during this week or this day or during this event. You buy it and then whatever. But these things are still expensive. Some skins are 20 quid, bro. Like,
that could be used for so many
like,
things.
but the thing is, deep that 20 euro is still cheaper than what you would have gone if you had rolled that shit like maybe 100 times and never got that skin. But still, microtransactions, predatory.
I think it's a very interesting topic, and we might have a whole episode on it, because I actually did a project on video games and ethics. So I think it'd be really cool to have like an episode just for that. So we might keep you back from that right now. So I have an Am I the Asshole story for you. Okay. Am I the asshole for missing an actual emergency because I turned off my phone to avoid my wife's unnecessary contact attempts during my tech-free weekend? My best friend and I have a tradition of taking a yearly weekend trip together that's phone-free. We've been doing this for a decade now. These weekend trips consist of us staying in a suite and exploring the city, not traversing the wilderness, so it's not like we're completely disconnected. Still, we like to keep one on hand for navigation and emergency purposes, and it would usually be a friend's phone that we brought along. My friend and I left for a trip this year 2 Fridays ago to make use of a long weekend. This was the first time I've gone on one of these trips since my wife and I moved together, got engaged, or got married. However, we were dating for the last 2 years worth of trips, and she seemed fine during that time. I would just tell her I was going to be busy for the weekend and she'd leave me alone. I understand that there are different expectations once you get married, but I didn't expect for the 180 in behavior. My wife all but demanded I take my phone as well in case she needed to get a hold of me despite her having my friend's number. I let her know I had arrived, and immediately after that, she was texting me and asking me how things were. Then again, asking me another question when I didn't respond the first time. I eventually muted our text conversation because I was sick of the phone buzzing. She called me a few hours later and asked why I wasn't responding to her texts. I reiterated that this was supposed to be a no-phone weekend and kept the call short, despite her trying to drag out the conversation. She called me once more after this. When I answered and found out it wasn't an emergency, I simply turned off my phone. The calls then started coming in from my friend, and he followed suit. We spent the rest of the weekend with our phones off until the drive back on Monday. I called my wife and informed her we were about 30 minutes away from the place, and she was furious. She said that there ended up being an emergency. Her sister got into a car accident that won't affect her long term, but still resulted in broken bones, and that I had just ignored her the entire time when she needed me. I told her that I was very sorry to hear about her sister, but it wasn't my fault. She had essentially forced my hand into cutting off means of communication. She went to stay with a friend before I arrived home that night and had since came home, but she's still fuming.
That is brazy. So he definitely is an asshole in this scenario, but I do believe the wife shouldn't have pestered him as much as she did. Mm-hmm. I think when she knew that he said like the whole phone, I understand the whole like whatever, but it's like try to respect that boundary and only text if it's an emergency.
And she knew of this tradition or whatever.
Kind of thing. She should have only texted when it was actually emergencies and not just like willy-nilly just blowing up his phone, because it essentially ends up to this, and it literally just sounds like the boy who cried wolf, where like she cried wolf so many times by blowing up his phone that he's like, fuck this shit. But the thing is, like, he should have never ever turned off his phone, because the idea is it's in case and there's an emergency, she'll contact you. What he should have always done is either quickly look at the phone to look at the message, or pick up the phone quickly and be like, hey, what, are you okay? Yeah, bye-bye. Kind of thing. Quick things.
Yeah, because initially when he said that, he kept like texting her. He didn't say that he ever responded to anything. I assume he did, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It sounds like he didn't respond to anything and was just like,
Well,
oh.
he looks like he responded the first few times, and then eventually started airing it, and then she started blowing up his friend's phone, his friend's phone.
And then
Yeah, so kind of, and that's the kind of scenario it is. But I would absolutely say, like, yeah, no, he definitely went too far by turning off his phone and turning off the friend's phone and not getting that, because like he missed an actual real emergency. But obviously, she kind of initiated by pestering him instead of letting him do the thing and only messaging. Like, I understand the fear. Like, essentially, like, all there should have been is like, hey, I'm here, safe and sound, blah blah blah, going around. Maybe like a daily, like, hey, I'm fine, just so you know. But obviously, I'm not on my phone, and kind of like that. And then if there's a problem, she goes like and reaches out to him, and there's nothing wrong with that, Or maybe if they really wanted like quick chats only in the morning but not during the day, like there's so many ways they could have gone about this.
Agree.
But like obviously none of that was set up, and it just ended up into a big fucking clusterfuck.
I know, because like I feel like just despite that she was used to it, let's say that, there could have been still some discussion beforehand, like, hey, I'm gonna go, I'm not gonna have my phone, I don't want you messaging me. But even at that, I'm like, you don't want like a daily checkup of like, hey, hope everything's okay, have fun. I think that should still happen. I understand it's a no phones weekend, but like, is it to that extent?
Well, I can understand the extent of like daily checkup. That's fine.
Well,
like
why,
you could have like every few days. Like some
they're
people,
there for the weekend.
Like obviously like some people might just do one of those things. Like some people do those like tech retreats where they have no technology at all with them, and they might bring a phone just for in SOS situations, but they literally don't have anything. Like I can understand some people just do that. They just need that full on detox, and I can see where they come from, so on and so forth. Obviously, to each their own. I know that there are certain people in my life who would just be stressing the whole time, and it's like
me.
they want a daily checkup of some sort. Yeah, I said you. Yeah, and it's like daily checkup. So like I just be like, hey, I'm alive, bye bye.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I'll talk to you when I talk to you. So,
what's your opinion on your partner solo traveling?
I think it's fine as a
Wait,
guy kind of thing.
I was that skeptical.
Because it's like, I would, like, it depends where the person is going and how used they are. Like, I think a girl solo traveling is fine as long as she's kind of used to her or has her wits about her, kind of thing. But, I feel like it's more easy for a guy to solo travel, let's be honest, because it's not even about defending. It's like about the idea that you'll get attacked is definitely less than what a girl would get attacked for lots of different other reasons.
Safety.
Like when it comes to safety. And I think it's pretty cool that there are lots of girls out there who solo travel. But I think like people who solo travel, like females who solo travel kind of have a plan, like they're like,
I wanted to say that because I feel like a lot of the times that we see these girls that solo travel, they're like, I did this, these are the steps that I take, I have this on me, I have that on me to make sure X, Y, Z. And like when you see guys are just like, like wondering about like John Travolta.
Yeah, because like, obviously like life is not like equal terms. Like anyone who believes like a woman solo traveling is equal to a man solo traveling, it's not. It's blatantly not. Like, like there are more fears out there, and even in a perfect world, let's say there was no insane things, that he will do specifically to women. Let's even talk about just the attacking or getting robbed. It is a lot easier because of physicality for a woman to get robbed or attacked than a man is, like a guy probably has a chance to slightly defend himself, without getting absolutely demolished. Whereas a woman, it's not that likely. If it's a guy attacking you, it's a very like tough situation for you. You're losing 99% of the time, like, and that's the problem, just due to biological like strength differences, and that's where the issue lies. So it's kind of like you have to keep your wits about it. But I think anyone solo traveling is really cool, like if you wanted to go solo travel, I would be perfectly fine with it, but I'd be like, yo, I'd be like, check in, bro. Like, check in.
You'd be worried. You'd be
but that's because you're
Oh
weak.
my God, this girl.
This girl can hardly fucking navigate herself when I'm around, let alone when I'm not there.
No, I can navigate. I'd be really scared though. Like solo traveling simply scares me for the fact that like I don't feel safe.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't feel safe. I would love to do it.
Yeah, and also I think this is not even just exclusive to women. I feel like there are men who just would not be good at solo traveling either. Like some people are just not are just not good in tune with it, you know? Like, I find like I'm could easily soldier. I could literally right now just go anywhere and I'll be fine. But I know lots of guys that would not be fine if you let them off soldier. They'd be fucking lost or dead somewhere or whatever, you know?
I was just thinking, like, oh my God, imagine like you get a boyfriend, whatever. It's like, oh my God, let's go on a trip together. And then he's like, oh, like just two of us. But like, what if something happens? Like, the cringe.
Yeah, no, it is what it is.
But yeah, so I guess your issue with solo traveling is more on the worried about them, rather than like have a problem with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's like,
because I know it's like one of those things that like once you're in a relationship, like, oh, you can't go solo traveling.
No, I absolutely. Like, I feel like if like it's more about just a worried, like I would really want them to make sure they're ready, prepared, and whatever. Yeah. And obviously, if it's someone that like has done it a lot of times before, I was even in their life, I would have way less worry. Yeah. You know, I'd be like, oh, you're experienced at this, so
you'd be okay with your partner solo traveling.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think I would be too. Yeah. You just don't want to go because you're like, but I'm in a relationship now. I'm like, you can go.
That's another topic for another day anyway. But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed our manic rants while we're sick. You know, like we actually talked for a lot longer than we thought we would. I'm gonna have to cut out a lot of these coughs that Nicoletta had.
No, there weren't that many.
You know, like
it was only like 2 or 3.
You know, and stuff. I don't remember where it is. I gotta watch the whole thing to find it. Anyway, but it's not that easy. It's easy anyway. So, but yeah, no. I hope you enjoyed our sick rants and our discussions, and obviously we'll hopefully come back to you next week with healthy mouths and throats and voices and everything to give you the well-awaited femininity episode. And you
guys deserve.
Yeah, you know, as always, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, share,
subscribe, share,
the whole shebang, everything. And we'll see you next week.
Till next time.
Peace.